Stunning news out of New York this afternoon. A U.S. attorney has uncovered information, actual documents, that could lead to a third impeachment of Donald Trump. God willing. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. In just under a month since Donald Trump has taken office, Washington has plunged into chaos. There's Trump's illegal executive orders to deny birthright citizenship. There's his mass deportations. There's his proposal to deport U.S. citizens to a gulag in El Salvador. And illegal immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. And you get the idea. The list goes on, and it hasn't even been a month. And that's to say nothing of the unchecked and increasingly bizarre role of Trump's co-president, Elon Musk. And yet, even by the standards of the past few weeks, even taking into account Trump's dumping of reservoir water in Northern California to extinguish fires hundreds of miles away in Southern California, fires that were already put out. Even with Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth basically turning Ukraine over to the whims of Vladimir Putin. Even with Trump's pardoning of people who tried to overthrow the government and murder elected officials in the January 6th insurrection. Even with all that in mind, this late-breaking story today, this is a whole new level of insane, even by the standards of Trump 2.0. Donald Trump, of course, has already endured 2 impeachments. His first came when he threatened to withhold funds from Ukraine in exchange for forcing the Ukrainian government to do opposition research on Joe Biden.
The ayes are 230. The nays are 197. Present is 1. Article 1 is adopted. The question is on adoption of Article 2.
He was, of course, acquitted. The second came in Trump's final weeks in office. Following his incitement of the January 6th attacks, the Congress again impeached Trump.
On this vote, the ayes are 232. The nays are 197. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
It has passed. The gavel has fallen. 232 yes votes for the impeachment of Donald John Trump.
He was, of course, acquitted again. But you probably knew that already. In his second term, Trump has already faced the threat of impeachment once. Representative Al Green of Texas filed articles of impeachment after Trump said he wanted to annex Gaza and turn it into a resort community. That would involve the mass deportation of 2 million Palestinians, which is tantamount to genocide. But what was uncovered today is an entirely different level of impeachable, and it will be very, very hard for anyone to argue otherwise. Late today, NBC News obtained a letter authored by Danielle Sassoon, the acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Sassoon resigned earlier today after issuing the letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi. In it, she details how Emil Bove, the acting U.S. Deputy Attorney General, issued a memo on Monday to drop all charges against New York Mayor Eric Adams. Adams was indicted last fall after it was revealed he took $100,000 worth of free plane tickets and luxury hotel stays from wealthy Turkish nationals and at least one government official. Trump had said he thought Adams was treated unfairly, and the two had a meeting just days before Trump's inauguration. Now here's the tricky bit. Sassoon attended a meeting on January 31st with Bove, as well as Adams' lawyer, Alex Cipro, and several of Sassoon's staff. According to her letter, quote, Adams' attorneys repeatedly urged what amounted to a quid pro quo, indicating that Adams would be in a position to assist with the department's enforcement priorities only if the indictment were dismissed, unquote. Sassoon wrote, quote again, Mr. Bove admonished a member of my team who took notes during that meeting and directed the collection of those notes at the meeting's conclusion, unquote. The meeting also came at a time when Sassoon, according to her letter, was preparing more charges against Adams, quote, based on evidence that Adams destroyed and instructed others to destroy evidence and provide false information to the FBI, unquote. Now, Trump and Adams have already denied any quid pro quo after Trump ordered the charges dropped, but they're not getting away that easy this time. In addition to Sassoon, John Keller, the acting head of the Public Integrity Section, refused to drop the case and resigned. Kevin Driscoll, the acting head of the department's Criminal Division, also refused to drop the charges and resigned. They're dropping like flies over there. Emil Bove also placed 2 other lawyers on the case on leave. So, just to recap, NBC uncovered a conspiracy for a quid pro quo scheme to get the U.S. Justice Department to drop charges against Eric Adams. The mastermind of all of this was Donald Trump, and multiple witnesses can back up that assertion. Even with all Trump's bluster about the politicizing the Justice Department, a quid pro quo is a whole new level of corruption. A high crime, as they say. The kind that impeachment was designed for. Congressional Democrats, at the time of this broadcast, have yet to comment on Sassoon's letter or the revelation of Trump's quid pro quo plot. Here's hoping this galvanizes them. And here's hoping there are still enough honest Republicans that don't want to see the United States Justice Department turned into a barter system. Nobody is above the law in the United States. So, message to the Congress. Now's the time to prove that. We will have more on this story as it develops. I'm David Reddish.